Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you? What's going on?
Good. Need to turn my volume up real quick. My husband is here. He's just over here. No. He doesn't want to get on camera.
I can't see you, but good to meet you.
Uh,
Have you guys gotten to talk about anything so far? Do you want to do a quick recap of the program thus far and continue on?
yeah, let's just do it. We've talked a little bit about it, but I would like for him to hear just a quick recap.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, I'll share my screen. We'll go through the little presentation. I'll keep it brief though. I won't give you
Okay.
the feel you've had. So NLCA is Next Level Coaching Academy. We are a business coaching program specifically working with the online coaching space. So anybody that's in kind of the health and fitness field, personal trainers, nutritionists, group exercise instructors that want to kind of branch into the online coaching space and have a little bit more freedom. Typically the goal is time back as opposed to having to go in person all the time. So we are a business coaching program. We've been around since 2019, technically is when Chad started doing one-on-one, but NLCA has been alive since 2020. We do have an A+ rating with the BBB, and we are NASM, ACE, and ISSA accredited, which means anybody that has certifications with those three industry leaders will get continuing education units to renew certifications and maintain that education. Jumping ahead on kind of like who we are, our business coaching programs kind of come in two models. I'll actually zip back so you can see that. We break progression down into two phases. So we have our accelerator program, we have our master coaching program. Now, the accelerator program is for pretty much people who are new, brand new to the online space. We really haven't started anything. Typically, we have very low, if any, clientele in the virtual space. So really the focus of accelerator is to build a business foundation, get systems in place, marketing, sales, attain clients, and then focus on clients' success and retention. In the future, if somebody's to the point where they want to scale, continue growing, kind of make this a bigger endeavor than just themselves, have employees, we need more help. That's what the master coaching program is going to focus on, is more of the scaling side of business as opposed to the, development and growth side of business. Any questions so far?
No.
Cool. Perfect. So just to kind of break it up as far as support goes. So how this works, this is a 4-month program. So the accelerator program is 4 months. Master coach ranges between 6 to 12. How this works essentially is you'll have an entire course curriculum that you're working through. You'll keep that for life. You have the content forever, no issues there. What's nice about the program too is any coursework that we change, edit, modify, just be prepared. Chad updates that pretty frequently, at least quarterly. You'll have the most updated version of the course at all times as well, which is nice. So with this, as far as support goes, you are assigned a one-on-one coach when you join. We have 15 one-on-one coaches that we can match with our students. What's nice about the one-on-one coaches is that they do have to go through our programs, both of them, in order to even qualify to coach students. So all of our coaches have 6 or 7-figure online fitness coaching businesses. So they live this, they do this. They're not just good at business. We don't need just good at business. So you will get an assigned a one-on-one coach. The first step is a game planning call. Essentially on that call, we're talking about goals. We're talking about business structure, creating a business plan together. And then you'll have weekly support calls. So every other week you'll meet with your business coach. They're going to help you with things like marketing, lead gen, client delivery, support, things of that nature. The opposite, every other week, you're going to meet with your sales coach, who's going to help you with scripts. Again, more lead generation, sales, objection handling. It's a lot of role play, recording reviews, things like that. So you'll have weekly calls every other week, meeting with a different coach. Questions on that? They're the same coach. I think I said that wrong. You'll have the same sales coach biweekly and the same business coach. You're meeting with 2 people.
Yeah.
Each one-on-one coach also does what we call a roster call. I think of these more as study halls than, a business call. Every one-on-one coach has other clients that they coach in their businesses. So we meet biweekly for kind of like a study hall, get work done type of session. Those calls are optional. Go to them if you'd like to. It's just more face-to-face time with your coach and to get to know the peers that are under their umbrella. Now, group support calls are themed and they're also consistent every week. They're Monday through Friday. Mondays, they're at 6 p.m. Central. Tuesday, Friday, they're noon. Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. So we kind of do a lunch hour or a later afternoon call. You can go to all of them or none of them. It's totally up to you. I usually suggest 1 or 2, but they're all themed and they're all recorded. So Monday is all about sales and objection handling. Tuesday is client delivery and success. Wednesday's lead generation. Thursday's marketing. Friday's mindset. Again, attend what you can. You'll have the call recordings as well, though. So if you miss a call or wanted to see something, but your schedule wouldn't allow it, watch it back. Chad also runs biweekly calls. So every other Monday at 4 p.m. CST, you'll have a group call with Chad. Those are super popular. Attendance is pretty high for those. I'll just admit that we have a lot of students that attend those calls, which is great. And then you'll also get text support with the coach. So you'll have 24/5 access. So 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Your coaches are contractually obligated to respond to you Monday through Friday, anytime you ask a question. Obviously, keep in mind if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, they may be asleep. But you can use that chat for really anything. If you have questions about a client, if you have questions on how to respond to somebody, hey, can you just check out this, post before I send it out? Whatever it is, you can use that chat for anything. And then we do have a mindset framework. We call it Zenpreneur. And I said this yesterday, but being a business owner is not for everybody. It's not easy. It's going to challenge you. It's very rewarding. It's very exciting, but it is going to be challenging. So we do pay attention to mindset. We do pay attention to our mental health. We do weekly mindset calls. Those are on Fridays. We do breathwork sessions every month as a team, and then quarterly breakout sessions. Example of that is usually they're on a weekend, a Saturday or Sunday. Last quarter, we were dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome. We have a lot of new coaches. So a lot of that fear of putting themselves out there, that was addressed on that quarterly call. And that typically changes depending on what we're seeing. Questions on support? What's your husband's name?
Jordan or Jerry.
Jerry?
Uh-huh.
All right. Feel free to interrupt, Jerry, anytime if you need me. As far as community goes, we also have a private Facebook group chat, group support calls, and we do a live conference. I know we were talking about this yesterday. It is in Austin. It'll be the weekend of the 13th and 14th. You do not have to be a student to attend that. So I'd say come on down. It's definitely a great weekend. And then resources that are included. You have your full course curriculum. You'll have your entire mindset framework. So journaling prompts, meditation prompts, things like that. Done for you programming. Evolve Health and Performance is owned by Kayla Diamond. She's a fantastic coach. She's actually my business coach in this program. But the Done For You program, you'll have, like I said, years worth of progressive overload-based training plans, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day a week splits, beginner, intermediate, advanced clientele, push, pull, carry, upper, lower, a lot of different structures. Feel free to take those and build off of them, or just leave them as is. And then I know we talked about this. I know you're excited about this. We have the nutrition and training certification as well. So we have a nutrition and training certification that's free for all of our students. You don't have to go through it by any means, but it is also accredited with NASM, ACE, and ISSA. I showed that to you yesterday, but Jerry, do you want to see the certification, or are you pretty set on that one?
No, I want him to see it.
Okay, cool. We can definitely do that. Let's bop on over to the coursework. So courses are pretty straightforward. You'll also have lifetime access to your certification as well. So courses are pretty straightforward. Like I said, every module you click on is going to open up into your lessons. There's going to be a balance between, do you need him to pop on in, Jerry? I can't see you. Join the club. Come on.
No, I can join and see.
He's just being shy. We had a long night last night.
That's okay.
The early morning.
You're good. So every module is going to have a video version and a text version of everything. So you can read through the material, or you can watch and listen to things being taught. Again, it's completely up to your learning style, but the general overview of what we're going to cover: nutrition and macros. That's very straightforward. Just the basics of how to calculate macros, for general population. Advanced nutrition approaches. This is going to cover things like meal timing, metabolic adaptation, nutrition changes without having to do macros. There might be people who are really overwhelmed by that. I have a couple clients who are like, what the fuck are macros? Like, this is crazy. We start, calories and protein, and then we build into that. So different ways that we can adjust nutrition without having to count calories or macros. Blood work, that's a huge one. Just really understanding this. Personally, my clients, I suggest them getting blood work done every 6 months, at least once a year. But we want to make sure going through big changes, we're not also negatively impacting the body internally. So supplementation, more so if somebody has any deficiencies, understanding basic supplementation, how to identify good and bad. There are definitely things out there that are just money grabbers, things that we can probably skip. Understanding inflammation, digestion, gut microbiome, sex hormones, and fertility. This is super, super popular right now. Again, I know we talked about this yesterday, but we're finally getting the science, and we're getting people to understand that nutrition and training impact fertility. They impact your testosterone levels. A lot of that stuff will play a part. Advanced hormones is going to cover things like adrenal, thyroid, metabolic conditions, specialized conditions, more, again, dietary. So IBS, Crohn's, things of that nature. Second page, we'll dive into advanced nutritional testing. We do have a dietitian on staff. His name's John Dobzalewski. I always say his name wrong. So if you ever need consultation, he's great to have. He did a lot of this. So if you do have any clients exhibiting any specific types of symptoms of things, we can help you out there. Second part is, the training side, but we'll kind of broaden who you can train. So we like to be a little bit more specific than general population. So understanding strength athletes, power, hypertrophy, periodization, special considerations. I love this one. If you have powerlifting athletes, bodybuilders, recreational athletes, anybody who has breast augmentation, someone who's pregnant, postpartum, congenital amputations, understanding menstruation. So just really understanding your client and how these things are going to impact their fitness and what we need to do to kind of adjust and, compensate essentially. Art of coaching, I loved. It's very simple, but just understanding biofeedback, other markers besides physical fitness and nutrition that are going to impact your client's success, modifications, regressions, and more so communication. Final exam is 100 multiple choice questions. It's not timed. You can use your notes. You need an 80% to pass. You can take it a few times if you need to. It should be okay. It's not meant to be the worst thing you've ever done. So questions here.
No.
Cool. All right. Let's jump into the business side. So where are we at? Here we are. I know I left off. I'm just going to kind of like do a quick rundown of what we've covered so far, if you're cool with that, and then pick up from where we left off yesterday.
I have a question real quick about the classes. Are they mainly PowerPoint based, or do you get a book with it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so you'll have Google Sheets for everything. So when you jump into your first module, like the intro post, you're going to have the module document. So it's going to have the text version of everything here. You can just download these and they'll save right to your, your Google Drive. And then you'll have videos explaining everything and showing the examples. So you'll have your module overview. Let's go back. And then you'll have the strategy explanation. So here's what we're learning in that, in that module. Here's how you're going to apply it. And you'll have mostly Chad and the coaches in here teaching this stuff.
Okay.
Different per module, like some of the beginning stuff, we're just kind of explaining what you're going to need to do. But when you get into like the systems and the financial modules, when it's like, here's how you pay your taxes, you're going to actually have the IRS's website up. Here's the button you press. Here's how to type in the dollar, things like that. So you'll have live examples of everything. Beautiful. So very similar to the course or into the certification, as you'll have a text version and video version of everything. Again, the first few modules are pretty much like housekeeping. Directory is going to be your table of contents. Affiliate program, if you have any like coaching you need yourself, you'll have, discounts with certain, coaches in the space if you yourself want coaching from somebody. 0 to 10K roadmap. This is essentially how we're going to take you from no money to that $9,000-10,000+ a month. It's going to take time. So we're going to split it into 2 phases, 0 to 5, 5 to 10. We covered this, but this is more the mindset stuff, imposter syndrome, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, a lot of those things that we're going to cover and deal with here. And then we'll dive into the actual program. So admin systems are going to cover the backend stuff. So when you start a business, we need a way to take payments. We need contracts. We need forms, applications, client questionnaires. We need apps to use to actually give your programs to your clients. So we'll go through all of these systems that we would suggest. You'll have several different options for apps. We give you, 2 different options for forms, 2 different options for contracts, 2 different options for payments. If you have something that you've used in the past that you prefer better, you do not have to use our systems. We're just going to give you what we found to be best practice in this space. You make that decision.
And with the systems, is there like a yearly fee for those?
Most of the time, yes. Most of them are free when you start. So for example, I used Wave. They pay per transaction, like a specific percent, percent per transaction. DocuSign is like $10 a month. Calendly is free up to 2 event types. And you only need like 1 or 2 event types there. So you should be fine. And then the software that we use for actually coaching, TrueCoach and Trainerize, they're paid per tier. So your clients don't pay anything. What's nice, obviously, I would say hold off on that until you're ready to sign clients, but it's free for your first 30 days. If you partner with TrueCoach, you get an extended discount. I use Trainerize. I don't know the pricing of TrueCoach, but Trainerize is free for your first 30 days. It's $10 a month for up to 15 clients. Then it's $20 a month for up to 50 clients. And it kind of goes up from there. So you pay the more clients you have on your roster. Realistically, all in, when I first started, I now pay for things that I probably don't need to. They just make my life easier. Aside from like health insurance, I pay about $150 a month on subscription type things. When I started, that was like 30 to 50. There's things that you can get away with in the beginning that maybe you'll implement later on as your business gets bigger, but we'll teach you all the free versions too. So if you'd rather have Google Forms, that's free instead of Typeform, right? You don't have to use Typeform. I just think Typeform has more variety. So I use that now, but I started with Google Forms. You can use Google Sheets for all of your tracking instead of like a CRM. So there's things that you don't have to pay for if you don't want to.
Okay.
Questions on that?
That's what it's not like we have opportunity. That's what you use.
Okay. Do you have any questions? No, he has no questions.
Perfect. All right. The financial module. So I think this is where a lot of people get most confused, would be setting up your LLC, EIN, business bank accounts, taxes, paying yourself, the number side of things. So
Yeah.
we'll have a step-by-step. We do work with an AI company called Taylor Brands. If you'd rather just have someone else do that, I say, sure, if you want to save some time, but it's really not that hard to set up your own LLC. Just go through the step-by-step, save yourself some money. You only file your LLC in the state that you live in, one time. So you only have to pay a filing fee once. It's somewhere between $50 to usually about $100. I would not, however, file with LegalZoom because they will charge you for a bunch of nonsense you do not need. So we have a couple of places you can go through. Honestly, just go through your state. I know you live in Texas. Just go through the state of Texas to file your LLC. Don't go through all these crazy websites.
I have an LLC.
Perfect.
So yeah, we just skip over that. But I would like to understand how to file taxes because,
Yes.
I've never done my own taxes. Well, my husband doesn't, but just to make sure we're doing it right.
Yes, we'll have all that in here too. I filed yearly my first year in business. Don't do that. Don't do quarterly. Do quarterly every time. Yearly was a nightmare to have to go back being self-employed and with a fine-tooth comb dig up every single expense, profit. It was quarterly is the way to go for sure. So we'll teach you quarterly and yearly. I would say quarterly is definitely the easiest just from experience. But we will go through to understanding like tax accounts, high yield savings accounts, how to pay your taxes and how to estimate your quarterly taxes and yearly taxes so that you're not falling too far ahead or behind. I would say, I'm not going to say paying your own taxes is easy, but we try to make it simple. QuickBooks is going to be a great tool. I would say definitely don't mix your personal accounts with your business accounts. Have everything kind of run in and out of an account that's for business. If you have a couple of one-off things, there's a couple of times where I've forgotten my business card and I had to pay for something with my personal card and I, just keep the receipt, move it all over to QuickBooks. That's fine. But
do you guys teach QuickBooks?
yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you've got QuickBooks here and the whole training on QuickBooks, whole training on that. I would say that the biggest piece of advice is just keep your personal funds and your business funds separate. Personal expenses and business expenses separate as best as you can. But we'll go through how to pay your quarterly taxes, how to estimate all that. So if you click on this module, I don't know where we're at here. Yeah. So you'll have like the actual website, what you should be, clicking in the box, for what reason, for how much. It's very, very dummy proof. I do always suggest though, work with an accountant. I'm not a numbers person. I always have someone double check my work. My accountant is my godsend. I would say we have referrals if you'd like to work with somebody. If you're good with that side of thing, if your husband can handle it, fantastic. It's not for me. I did it the first year and it was chaos.
And do you have access to this like forever?
Forever.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
this is one module I kind of come back to pretty consistently. Just to kind of, does this
make
fall?
sure you're doing everything right.
Yeah. Another thing would be business write-offs. There's a lot of things in business, especially in the fitness industry, that you can write off that you wouldn't think about. There's a lot of things that you think you probably could, like shoes and clothes. That was my misconception. Gym clothes are a business expense. They're not. They're not. But things that are, when you have an online-based business, would be portions of your mortgage and your utilities. Because when you work from home, you work out of your house. So a portion of that is a business expense. Your internet, your phone bill, your electric bill, all of those are portion of that is business expense because you're working from your house. Getting a new computer, things of that nature. So understanding what is and is not a business write-off. Sometimes certain accountants will have preferences on how you track that, but we'll go over that here. Liability insurance and then health insurance. So we do suggest having liability insurance. I've never been sued. I don't know anyone that has been sued, but better not to risk it. That is something I think is probably a non-negotiable. I would say you definitely want to have liability.
I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then if you're self-employed, health insurance options and how to make that most affordable. Questions there?
No.
Beautiful.
Do you have any questions?
I can't hear his answers, so just let me know if he doesn't.
No, I know he's not very verbal. He's just like, no, move on.
No, that's mine too. He just watches. He just is like, "All right, let's talk about it." So
Yeah.
setting again, straightforward on this one, setting goals and expectations in your business. If you want to make $2,000 a month, if you want to make 10, what is that going to look like on paper? How do we reverse engineer how many clients we need, how many calls that looks like, how many people we need to talk to? Phase kind of 2 would be ideal challenge, ideal client offer. So figuring out who you want to help, what they're struggling with, and what you want to offer them. So are you high ticket, mid ticket, low ticket? Do we have a couple of different options? Are we going to do weekly check-ins, bi-weekly check-ins? Are they Zoom? Are they voice memo? There's going to be ways that we build up programs, and we're going to kind of go through what are people willing to pay for that? And here's, what we're going to charge. Depending on your niche, I know I mentioned that yesterday too. Some niches will be more high ticket. I'm a little bit more Gen Pop, so my pricing ranges between $300 to $425 per month. Kayla, who is my coach and does the programming, she works with specifically D1 and former D1 athletes. So her prices are like $600 to $800 a month, and people happily pay that. Just depends on your niche. I have another friend who's very exclusive in the postpartum world and fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum, and that's another kind of higher ticket area. So just depends on who your ideal niche is, what people are going to be willing to pay. Marketing strategy. This is just the overview. What do we believe in? How does our philosophy work? And then we're going to teach you the social media side. So podcasting, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, again, does not mean you need to use all these platforms. I know we talked yesterday. Facebook and Instagram are kind of my main two. TikTok, I don't do anything business-wise with. I have a YouTube channel, but again, it's more of a resource library for my clients. I don't do any advertising with that. Podcast is not on my horizon, but it could be yours maybe. So with this, it's not just learning what the platform is. It's all right with Instagram. How do you create reels? What's most attractive to people? How do you do stories, carousels, highlights? What time of day should you be posting? What are the algorithms looking for? So really just understanding the in and out of that profile or that platform, I should say. Content made easy. We'll go over 2 different platforms to actually create content. So Canva and Microsoft Designer. With these, again, we're trying to make content fast, but beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, professional, but quickly, right? You don't want to spend 3 hours on one single Instagram post. That's crazy. Lead generation, our philosophy on lead generation, and then we'll go over kind of 4 different funnels. Funnel number 1 is earned media. So earned media is essentially, there's 3 pages here of things you can do for earned media. This is, again, getting anybody to you, attracting someone to you. So the earned media side is anything you do that's going to get somebody to walk up to you and say, hey, I might be interested in this. Hey, what is this about? Can you help me? Those types of questions. That can be done through social media, obviously, posting. That can be done through community events. That can be done through your gym. That can be done through friends and family. There's a lot of different ways to put yourself out there to attract people to you. Opposite. Conversations to calls. Again, this is when you reach out to people. So if you notice, what was the example I used yesterday? I'm trying to, somebody likes your Instagram post 7 times in a row, or comments or DMs you and asks you a question. That person is obviously interested in what you do. So how do we effectively carry a conversation that 1, builds a relationship, but 2, leads to a potential paying client? Number 3, ads. Again, we are not running ads right off the bat. You are going to be making money first before we invest any more money. So with beginner ads, this is just boosting posts. If you're making, 10K plus per month, we can get some serious, ad spend done, but that's going to come later in the master coaching program. Right now, this will be beginner ads. So this is going to take a couple of your top performing social media posts and then boosting those. Usually costs you $1 to $3 a day per post per month. I mean, you sign 1 client, you're making a double return, triple return on investment, depending on how much your pricing is. So we'll get to that. That's probably going to be a month, later. 2 months down the line. That's later. Yep. And then referrals, right? So happy people are going to bring you more happy people, your friends and family, former clients, current clients. So we talked about that example. You have a lot of people that you interact with on a day-to-day that love you, trust you. They've got friends and family that don't live in Austin, Texas. They have friends and family that don't live in your area. That's a great opportunity to get referrals. People who attend your classes but are fearful about getting on the gym floor, who might work out better at home, offer your services to them. There's a lot of different ways we can do that. All right, then we left off here. So any questions so far?
No.
Beautiful.
No.
Cool. So far, so good. How you feeling over there, Jerry? Need some caffeine?
I'm good.
He said he's good.
He's probably like, this girl is so annoying. I hate this. Diving into the sales side of things. So moving into sales tracking, you can use a lot of Google Sheets. There are CRMs I would suggest in the future as your business starts to grow for tracking that, but we'll look at things like show rate, pitch rate, closing percent, 1 call, 2 call closes, just tracking all of that. Meet and greet calls are optional. This does not have to happen. I do not like talking on the phone. I don't do this very often, but a meet and greet call is going to be a quick 10-minute phone call. If you're not 100% sure that somebody's a great fit for your program, get to know them first. Anybody for me that comes from an ad, I do a meet and greet with, because internet equals stranger danger. A lot of the times there's some cookies out there. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. But with this, it's going to be kind of like a who are you, what are you looking for, health history, basic questionnaire type thing. Here's the script. Post-call homework, if you are going to convert them to a sales call, what do they need to do before they get on that call? Protocols for the meet and greet with examples. Now, sales call you'll do most of the time. This is going to be your one call close or the second of the two. So with the sales call, if you know a lot of information about somebody, you've had a good conversation, you've got a good gist of what they want, what they need, and you think you can help, you can skip the first call. We'll just dive into the sales call. So with this closing call confirmations, creating your sales presentation, we have examples in there and a live breakdown, which is great. Scripts, making sure you know how to handle objections, offer other services like downsells, financing, follow-ups, onboarding, and then examples. You will always see examples. So we're never just going to say, hey, go get on a sales call. Here's what you should do on that call. Here's how it works, which is why sales coaching is going to be important too. All right, objection handling. If you're going to be a business owner, be prepared to hear the word no. That's going to be your new favorite word. Get comfortable with it. People are going to tell you no for a lot of different reasons, a lot of different times. Now, most of the time when somebody gives you an objection, most of the time, not always, it's a problem that needs a solution. Most of the time, we're not going to say no because I hate this program. This looks terrible. I couldn't get any value from this. No, because it's expensive. I'm not sure if I can commit to this. No, because of a lot of different things. Is that a little kiddo right there?
Yeah.
Hi, kids.
This is Limiana, my youngest one.
How are you?
Good.
Good. You having a good day so far? Good. So with the objection handling, going through anything somebody's going to tell you, right? They're objecting because they want to talk to their spouse. They don't have their card on them. The economy, I don't think I can commit to this. One thing I never thought I'd hear, which I have, I started Ozempic and I just want to see how that goes first. That's just really gonna grind your gears if you hear that one. Bariatric surgery or lap band, other things that they're kind of looking into away from us. Budget, got to think about it, all the normal objections here. We're almost there, I promise, home stretch. So after the sales and objection handling, once somebody signs, we need kind of an onboarding and delivery process. So onboarding a client, this is essentially somebody joins, what's the process from paying you on the call to getting their training program? That could be joining your Facebook group, your WhatsApp group chat. Maybe we need to get them onboarded into your app. Maybe we need to get them to fill out a new client questionnaire so we know kind of a lot of their protocol, what that's going to be based off of. A couple of different things we can do with that one. And then client delivery is personally one of my favorite modules. Again, I don't care if you sell 100 people a month, if 99% of them want to cancel. We want to make sure that your business actually has a good service and your clients are enjoying their time with you. So with this program development and efficiency, understanding how many clients, realistically you can manage. I see you, Mom. Communication. So if somebody's upset about something, not adhering to a program, they're not checking in, they're ghosting, what do we do? How do we handle that? And then creating that community, that team feel. So these are all optional things, but you could essentially run a team call once a week. That's something my clients love. We do a Wednesday and a Saturday call. We could have a Facebook group chat. Clients love the group chat. Facebook group is not very common. They don't really participate in that too much, but the WhatsApp chat is popping off and the team calls are super popular. Maybe you have a client newsletter, maybe we have a resource folder for them. Again, run challenges, gifts, things of that nature to just kind of keep them excited.
What do you discuss during your team calls?
Yeah, so Wednesday, don't judge me, but Wednesday we do Wine Wednesday. If they want to bring a glass of wine and hang out, it's more just like games and team bonding, just kind of catch up, talk about life, kids stuff. It's just kind of powwow. Saturday, though, is education based. So what I do with Saturdays is I'll kind of take a general consensus of all my check-ins for the week. And if I see common themes of like, wow, okay, a lot of my clients this week really struggled with sleep. A lot of them really struggled with hitting their protein goal or getting their hydration in. Then I'll create a training around that on one, either how to make it easier, how to make it happen, how to, do better in that regard. But typically I base my Saturday trainings off of themes that I've seen in the check-ins for the week. Now you don't have to do that. You could just set it up early and have it be, a rotational, thing. I've had that too, where there's things that I want to teach on or talk about that don't have anything to do with their check-ins. Probably about a month and a half ago, we did an entire training on menstrual cycles and training around their menstrual cycles. None of my male clients showed up to that, even though I told them they should because they have spouses and partners in their life, but nobody showed up to that. That was just for the ladies, apparently. So it could be anything that you want it to be.
Okay.
Yep. Beautiful. Questions?
Any questions?
Cool, cool. Last little bit is customer support and retention. So customer support will be handling kind of those one-off scenarios. Let's say somebody moves across the country, needs to put their support on freeze, or your client breaks both their legs and now they can't train. You know, what happens in those, you know, big scenarios? And then retention, honestly, how do we keep your clients long-term? We don't want your average life cycle to be whatever they committed to first time. So if somebody commits to a 90-day program, we want them to stay for 6 months, 12 months, a year and a half. We want them to want to continue that journey with you. So what are best practices we can do to keep them engaged and excited to move forward with you? So overall, it is a big course. That's why we let you keep it forever, because it's a thick one. Realistically, we ask that you spend about 1 to 2 hours a week on the course curriculum, attend 1 to 2 hours a week of call support. So, you know, one-on-one, one group at least. And then the rest of your free time should be implementation. So if you've got about 2 weeks worth of work, and I know we kind of talked about like maybe a 10-hour time frame, maybe, you know, a little bit more, a little bit less sometimes, the rest of that should just be putting into action what you're being taught. How do we feel?
I mean, I think it's a lot of great information.
Mhm.
And I mean, what I'm wanting to know is like success rate, and like I see online people all the time. And so, I mean, it's a great course to like information wise, and having that one-on-one support is like that mentorship is what I'm looking for, is somebody to help guide me, somebody who's done it, who can like, you know, just lead me to help me navigate through areas where I'm not confident in. Because I've got the training down, I've got like the personality down. I just don't have the logistics.
Yeah.
And
I would
so,
add most of our students, right? You come in, you love coaching, you love, you know, being the coach, working with clients, but the business side is different. I mean, it's completely different.
yeah. And with online coaching, like you said, it's different because you like, there's a lot of nutritional information that you're talking about, but also supporting them with like their mental health and like figuring out other areas. Because when you're with a one-on-one, you're only basically focusing on that hour with them. So learning that, I think, makes you a better coach. But I want, you know, I also don't have experience with all that because I don't do that. So learning from somebody is what I look forward to.
Yeah.
I
I think it's also with anything else with coaching though, right? I mean, you didn't know how to put a training program together until you got into the gym and got a certification and started teaching classes. And I think honestly, sometimes the best way to learn is just by jumping in the water. I'm sure the first time you taught a group exercise class, you were nervous and like, well, is the choreography good? Are they going to like this class? There's a lot of overthinking that goes into coaching, but it comes with anything, right? Learning a new skill takes time. Learning a new approach takes time. And the goal with us is just, I don't want you to feel alone during that. Just know a lot of our coaches are brand new to the online space and having to pivot their coaching style a little bit, because we are not just focusing on the lat pull down and the deadlift, like, and form. It is a lot more. It's a lot more of the mindset approach, honestly. And I think you'll find in that pivot was hard for me was, dang, coaching can sometimes be like therapy. Like most of the time my clients are not struggling because they can't get to the gym. They're struggling because they have 5 kids and all of them had soccer at the same time this week. And then, you know, they had to run around and do all these different things and we couldn't make it to the gym. And, you know, it ended up being fast food for dinner. And it's kind of finding that balance of you're a human being and you have fitness goals. How do we merge the two together? Which we don't talk about a lot in person.
Yeah. 1 second. I forgot to put my laptop in. It's about to die.
You're good. Now, as far as like success rate, that is going to be very subjective to what you define success. So everyone, you know, that comes into this program is not looking for the same goal. We have coaches, like I said, who want to make millions, right? They want this empire. They want a massive company. We have coaches that come in that want nothing to do with that. You know, they want 15 clients just as like side hustle income, and that's good for them too. So it would be how you define success. But I can give you averages, right? I can give you what our average students do. And I can give you the guarantee that we talked about a little bit yesterday. So right now, our average student signed their first client in their first month. Most of those students, so 73% of our students sign their first clients month one. I know I mentioned that yesterday. If you are brand new, you have no certifications, we do ask you go through the certification first. So you're probably not going to sign your first client month one because we need you to be qualified to work with people first. That's about a quarter of our clientele are completely fresh, brand new. Most of our students that do sign their first client month one do so in their first 2 weeks. That's our goal. As far as hitting 10K a month, if you are somebody who wants that, right, you're putting in the best practices, you're doing the lead generation, you're showing up and doing the work on a day-to-day basis, you can hit that average in about 13 weeks. Program is 16 weeks, but our average student hits that in 13 weeks. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy because it is not. And I want to set that expectation now. But if you're willing to show up, put in the work to market, advertise, communicate with people who are, interested in your services, and you listen to your sales coach, you can absolutely get there. What we want to see on average is about a 5 to 8 clients add-on per month. That would be ideal growth month over month. About five-ish plus clients per month would be good. That should end you around like the 25 client range on average, 25 to 30, which will get you closer to that, 8 to 10K range. Right now, if you do sign your first client month one, our average student ends this program right at that $10,000 mark. If you do not, it drops to 6,500. But I think that's still pretty good. With that too, so you've got those averages. Let me see what else we have. Those who stay in our company for a year. Obviously, you don't have to by any means, but if you stay 12 months, our average client who's been with us for 12 months has 97 clients on their roster. Again, when we look at average industry pricing of that, $250 to $500, even on the low end of that, you're looking at about a $300,000 a year with 97 clients. Now, that does take time. That's a year. That's a year from now. We'd be at that point. That's not 4 months. Have we had people crush it and absolutely annihilate it? Yeah, but that's not the average person. The average person is going to move a little bit more slowly. Cool. As far as the guarantee goes, so one thing that we do guarantee is that you will contract at least 2.5 times what you've invested in this program, or you get your money back at the end of 4 months. So if you haven't made that happen in 4 months, you get a return on your investment, complete refund. Now, there are rules, right? You have to try. You can't just sign up and then float in space and do nothing. So rules to the guarantee. Number 1, you have to go to your game planning call. That's the very first one-on-one you have with your coach. Number 2, you do have to attend 2 one-on-ones a month. That could be with your sales coach. That could be with your one-on-one coach. That could be, you have 4, 1 per week. You have to at least make 2 of those. But those, again, are scheduled on your own time. So there's that. 1 group call each week. 2 one-on-ones a month, 1 group call each week. You can't have any past due balances, no late payments, none of that. And you do have to be charging minimum price for full coaching. So if you offer full coaching services, you need to be charging at least $250 a month for your clients.
Okay.
Does that sound doable? Cool. Sweet. We've refunded to this point 1.6% of our students.
Okay.
Questions?
Do you have any questions? No. I can't think of any right now.
It's always after, right? You'll think of like 80 questions in like an hour. And you're like, that. So let me ask you this. Obviously, I know we talked about we saw the course, we saw the program. How are you feeling as a whole with the program? Because I don't want to move forward on anything until you feel 100% like, yeah, this is definitely the path that's going to help me reach my goals.
I mean, I am excited. I think I need to talk, more with Jerry about it, get him on board. Babe, do you have any questions?
If you guys want to mute me and just like powwow and see if you guys have any questions that you want to like just talk about without me being right here, that's totally fine. That happens all the time.
No, it's not that.
Go in the bathroom and brush your teeth.
I mean, I think it's a lot for her to think about. That's for sure. I mean,
You're
no.
okay.
No, I don't want to be seen.
It's just a lot for her to think about. I mean, she's and where she wants to prioritize certain things. She's trying to juggle, a few things, and this would be.
He doesn't think I have the time to invest into what it's going to take.
She's going to have to give up some things, but it's going to be hard for her to do it. So she wants to take it on, and it's like it's going to be a balancing act. This isn't this isn't, I mean, you say it's a couple of hours, it's going to be more. And I know this because I do it.
Yeah.
I do it daily.
Yeah, the few hours is more like learning the coursework and going to the calls.
That's right. Yeah,
action is
it's applying it. I mean, it's she's going to have to sacrifice certain things that I know that it's going to be difficult for her to do. So
I think at the end of
but
the day, you want to think about this long term. And I'll give, this will be for both of you to really discuss, is like long term, where do you guys want your time to be spent? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be, honestly? To me, I was in person, like I said, for almost 9 years before I went virtual. And while I loved in person, I didn't realize how much freedom would come with being my own boss and being online. I think everybody thinks that, but until you're in there and it's different. And at this point, there's not a dollar in the world that would send me back to the in-person space. Because I can, be home with my family and we get to travel and I don't have to worry about being on other people's time. So I think you really just need to think about, okay, long-term, what's the end goal for my family, financially, all those different things. In person is great. I know you're not making what you'd like to make in person because I've been there. The gym keeps a lot of that. Your classes are one thing, right? But when it comes to in-person sessions, you're working for a corporate gym. I would imagine you're not making anywhere near 100% of your session pay, but that's the beauty of online is your clients pay you. You keep it. You pay taxes, right? Because you have to, but you keep 100% of the revenue that's coming into your business. It's not going to anybody else.
That's one part she has to understand is that in person, she's going to have to give a lot of that up, and it's going to be uncomfortable for her. So
yeah, but
I need her to really realize that, she's got to love to work on the computer. She's got to do that. I can tell you right now, she doesn't. So it's going to be a mindset. It's going to be a change.
Yeah.
I know her.
I was the same way though. I was very much a busy bee. I loved being on my feet. I loved being in the gym because I liked that interaction. But now, I mean, I don't know. I'm right in Austin too. So I'm like, well, fuck, it's beautiful. I'm just going to go pop by the pool and then do all my client programming here this morning. And so I was like, do I love working from a computer sometimes? Am I sitting a lot more than I'd like to be? Yes. But do you also have the freedom to kind of do more with that? 100%. I think that can be learned, but it is a balance. I will say just from a coaching perspective, I can give a lot more to my online clients than I could in person. There's just more bandwidth. There's more to cover. We don't just have to talk about form. So I think if you're in your core, if your goal is to make a really big impact on your clients and have be that person that changes their life, online will allow you to do that on such a larger scale. But yeah, I mean, it is going to take that balance, and being a business owner does take sacrifice.
Did you feel like your in-person clients were willing to go online without having you?
So the challenge, I don't remember me talking about this. I signed a non-compete, a terrible one, a horrendous non-compete when I was working in person, and I couldn't take any of my online clients or any of my in-person clients. I was starting from scratch. I reached out to a lot of clients that I had in person previously when I was living in Michigan. And I got some of them, but I was pretty much starting from scratch. But a lot of my clients who I am now outside of my non-compete have come back to work with me. I would say initially, some people were at the end of their term, and I just didn't renew them when I was trying to make my exit because I knew that they would want to go online with me. It's the relationship. They were nervous. They're like, is it going to be as much support? I'm like, it's gonna be more support. You know what I mean? But they trusted me. To kind of follow through with that. And a lot of them saved money because my gym was charging an arm and a leg for in-person coaching and I was making 30%. So they actually saved money to be able to talk to me every day.
And so is that how, do you do a daily check-in with yours?
Not necessarily.
Or is it bi-weekly?
Yeah,
I do 2 times a week, 3 times a week?
I do weekly check-ins as far as full deep dive check-ins. So my clients will pick a check-in day, sometimes Sunday to Thursday when they join. I do responses Monday to Friday. So I don't do check-ins on the weekends. I try to not do really anything on the weekends. I like to work Monday through Friday. And then, Saturdays, I spend a lot of time with NLCA. But I do check-in responses Monday to Friday. In their check-ins, they have to submit to me at least 5 forum videos. They send their biofeedback form, which on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your stress this week? Sleep, hunger, and then I review their logs in Trainerize. So I'll see how many days a week they hit the gym. I'll check to see if they hit the, the reps, the sets, the weights that I had suggested or that we're, progressing to, and then look at their food logs. and they kind of have to rate themselves. I did on a scale of 1 to 10 in food this week, a 9. And then I'll go and see, okay, Amanda, we had pizza 19 times last week. What do you mean? It's a 9 out of 10, you know? And then I do voice memo responses. I did in the beginning offer Zoom and voice memo as an option. And I just found so many people would pick Zoom and then reschedule, cancel, and it just became a whole thing. So I do voice memo responses now, and I'll review all their work. I send them voice memo responses through WhatsApp. We have a group chat through WhatsApp so they can communicate with me. And I'm available 7 days a week through WhatsApp, but I do have times that I'm available. It's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I am sleeping before then. I am with my family after that. And you can set those, you know, communication expectations however you want to. Some coaches like to be on, you know, 24/5. Some people are, you know, 24/6 and just have one day off. You can text me every day because I'm always on my phone, but between these hours, and you have to give me at least 24 hours to respond. So I am to the point though where most of my clients answer each other's questions. I'm like basically not even needed anymore. They all help each other out. It's great. But no, we do not do daily check-ins unless they have questions in, you know, in WhatsApp. But they do a weekly check-in with me to go over progress, feedback, and then program adjustment if needed.
And majority of your clients, are they like older, or because how do they feel about videoing themselves and that form check-in and all that?
I've had a few people who aren't super comfortable with it, or it just took learning, but I think it's more just educating them of like, hey, listen, I know that it might be uncomfortable, but I really, really need to see this in order for me to coach you, you know, to the best of my abilities. So a lot of people understand. I have a couple of people who are just really uncomfortable, and the videos are always like, not great, but we do what we can. If they are uncomfortable filming at the gym, I'll just have them like they can FaceTime me here, and then we'll schedule it. It's not just random, but FaceTime me, prop me up, do the movement at home. At least let me see and walk you through what we're doing. As far as you're going to have some bad eggs here and there. You're going to have some people who are a little bit more of a challenge, but my average client is, oh God, I'd have to think, probably 38 to 42 would be my average client age.
Okay.
Personally, I'm not working with the senior population anymore. I did too much of that in Florida. I'm good. I have one client who's in her 60s, but she's just an absolute savage. Outside of that, it's not my ideal niche. Typically, there's a lot more like injury, more rehabilitative, and that's just it's not my jam.
Okay. And when you're doing your what was I gonna say? It just slipped my mind. About your check-ins, clients.
Biofeedback, voice memos, food logs, progress photos, measurements.
Oh, are they more like wanting like figure, or they're just wanting overall general health? Like, how do you are you doing more like do you do more like CrossFit, or are you more like just strength training, or you're just
I'm not good at CrossFit. CrossFit's not my jam. That's not my thing. But I'm more of a traditional. Yeah, I'm more of a traditional. I would say if you had to put a label on it, like a more of a bodybuilding style split. But because my clients are more general population, we typically do like upper lower full, push pulse, carries, things like that. But it really depends on the client. I try to like figure out what they enjoy, because I do have clients who like really, really enjoy 1 to 2 muscle groups per day. I have clients that really enjoy full body. I have clients that really enjoy. So I try to program around what they like, because that's going to make them adhere a little bit more. But we compromise, right? What they like is not always what they need. And so we'll kind of have to tie in some of what they enjoy to what they actually need in order to reach their goals. Most of my clients, though, are larger transformations. I work with a population who either has a substantial weight gain or weight loss in their life. So most of my clients are relatively new to the fitness space, or they're not new to the fitness space, but they're not consistent with the fitness space, and they have a longer journey ahead of them.
Okay. So do you do a lot more of the nutritional then?
Oh yeah. Nutrition's like key.
Yeah.
The time, but you don't have to offer that. You could just do like general like nutrition education of like better options, or how building a healthy plate. There's a lot of coaches that do that too. I do focus on macros, but you don't have to by any means.
And did you get your certification for nutrition through NLCA, or did you already have a nutritional background?
I have a nutritional background. My degree is in nutritional sciences. My specialty was in pre and postnatal, but I actually don't work with pre and postnatal anymore. But I've had a lot of certifications in the nutrition space. I've gotten this certification because I'm in the program, but I had a nutritional background personally.
Oh, okay. Okay. Babe, do you have any more questions? No. Okay. Well, I guess what we're wanting to know too is like cost and like how, like if we can afford it right now, or what that looks like if you guys offer payment plans or.
So we do payment plans. We have a pay in full option, split pay in full option. We have payment plans, and we also offer financing. So we have in-house financing, no credit check. We also do have 2 financing companies we work with that are soft credit pulls. So they'll check the number, but it's not going to affect you as far as, that goes long term. So questions on anything else before we jump into that?
Okay. Are you sure?
You guys can talk more afterwards too, and then you can send me a list of questions. I got you.
Hold on, let me grab a pencil real quick.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. So you've got the 2.5x investment guarantee. So keep that in mind. If you don't make at least 2.5 times your investment, you do get refunded at the end of your 4 months. All right, let me share my screen. I'll go through that. So pricing, we have 2 options. We've got a payment plan option. We have a pay in full. We can break both of them up in a lot of different ways. So hang tight. Now, cost, payment plan, it is $8,800, pay in full, $7,497. That is lifetime access to your curriculum. Yep. One-on-one coaching, group coaching for 4 months. This can be broken up. Now, if you wanted to save a little bit of money, obviously the pay in full saves you $1,300. You can split that in half, pay it over, 90 days. Payment plan though, we can do almost whatever we want with it. A lot of flexibility on that one.
Well, bed. Go to your bed. 1 second. Bed. Sit. Okay, sorry. He
For a
just.
second, I thought you were talking to one of your kiddos. I was like, that's. It's like, oh.
No, this is my other, my 4th kid. It's just the dog.
Yep. No, I feel that. Yeah. So 8,800 payment plan, pay in full 7,497. You can split that up. Like I said, payment plan, we've got flexibility with. So for example, we could break that up over between a 4 to 6 month payment plan in-house. NLCA does offer a 12-month financing option. And then we have 2 companies that can break your payment plans up between 1 to 5 years. So it makes things a little bit more comfortable.
Okay.
Initially, how we feeling? I know it's a little intense.
I mean, so you said with the payment plan in full, what was it? If you do the payment
Oh, it froze. Are you there? Oh no, we're breaking up a little bit. Oh. Hello?
You still there?
Oh, I can hear you, but you're frozen.
I think we froze.
Oh no, that's okay. So the payment plan is 8,800.
Okay, go.
And then the pay in full is 7,497.
Okay. And what were you saying about the payment plan option? You could pay that off in
so many. I mean, there's like literally 100 options. So with the payment plan, if we wanted to just keep it in-house, we like to, break it up, about 6 months or so. So let's say most people, what they do is put about $2,600 down. If we break that up over 5 more payments, it's $1,240 a month. It's about 3 to 4 clients you would need to sign depending on how much you're charging. That's our most common payment plan. But again, we have the longer term financing options as well. Yeah. And those are all soft credit pulls if that makes it more comfortable.
Okay.
If you went that route, I'll give you an example. Fund My Contract is a company that we are very close with. They essentially will pay us and then you pay it off with them, but they'll allow you to take it over 5 years and you don't have a payment for your first 30 days. So it gives you some time to, get some clients under your belt. Typically payments over 5 years broken up are around like that 300 to 400-ish range. Which obviously is more comfortable than 12, but it's, it's for a longer period of time. There's no penalty to pay off early though, which can be helpful.
Is there interest?
There is. Yeah. Because it's a financing option, there is going to be interest on that. Yeah. but it does make
Okay.
it monthly more digestible. You can pay it off anytime. Now, our in-house option is no credit pull. We don't care. We can take it out over 12 months, but it does there is interest. So it does bring your total up to 10,000 on a payment plan instead of 8,800. But hear me out. So if we had the 10,000, we broke it up over 12 months. It's a 12-month payment plan. It'd be $833 a month. If you pay it off within 4 months, we will honor that 8,800. If you pay it off in your first 60 days, we'll honor the pay in full. 7,497.
Okay.
Gives you some flexibility. When I started, obviously in 2020 was COVID, so I was on unemployment. I get it. This was not an easy decision. Jerry, I did not do a good thing, but I just paid for it and spent our savings, and my boyfriend almost killed me. But if you have a decent, like my first month, I collected about 6K. I was lucky though. I was very lucky, and 4 people that I signed paid in full. So the cash was there, and I just said, here, let's be done with all of this. So that's always an option. You can always pay it off early if you'd like. Totally up to you.
Okay. And I guess, I mean, we just have to talk about it, about that portion of it.
Yep.
So let's say we move forward and it just starts right away. Like as soon as we
You
pay,
can pick
then
a start date, or you can get onboarded same day. It's completely up to you. So if you say, hey, I'd really like to start on the 15th, we can have an official start date for you, or you can get onboarded same day. It's totally up to you. Onboarding is pretty straightforward. So invoice, client agreement, and then what happens for onboarding is you're going to get an email and a text from our support team. The email will have all of your course login information. The first time you log in, you'll be prompted to change your password and get in there like that. And then you'll get scheduled for your game planning call, and you'll get added to your coaches, chat, and, onboarded into all the stuff, basically. Ideally, we like to schedule your game planning call within 48 hours of enrollment. So if you joined, on a Saturday, we'd like to have you on a call by Monday. So typically we want to schedule a time for onboarding when the next couple of days you've got some availability to get on a call with your coach. So if you join on a Friday, but you guys are going out of town all weekend, maybe we start your start date on Monday. That way we know you can get on a call within those first couple of days.
okay. And your coach is only available for 4 months, right?
Yes and no. I mean, for the 4 months you're in the program, you'll be with them, but you have options to continue at the end. I've been paying for 3 years. I'm going to be here for life, but it's just because I love the accountability of it. Obviously I work for NLCA, so I get a discount on my coaching at this point, which is great.
So how much, if you wanted to keep your coaching, how much additional is that?
Depends on what we're running at the time, but typically it's about 60% less than what you paid the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, for example, pricing's 8,800, but to renew for an additional 4 months, it's 4K. You keep your course for life, you're pretty much just paying for the support.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I guess obviously we have to talk about it. And then once we do, I guess, do I just give you an email or shoot you?
Yeah, just give me a
message?
text. Yeah, shoot me a text. What we can do too, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll message you later on just kind of to check in. But why don't we plan on just following up sometime beginning, middle of next week? You guys chat. If you've got questions between now and then, send it my way. If you have questions on payment plans, things like that, we can get as creative as we need to there. We can pretty much make it work for almost anybody. So if you guys have ideas, shoot them my way and we can figure something out.
Okay, that sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Enjoy your
you.
weekend. Yes, have some fun.
Okay.
It's hot as
You
heck
too.
today, so enjoy.
I know. Enjoy.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Oh, real quick before we leave, you said this was recorded. So if we wanted to go back to it, how do I get the recording?
I can email it to you.
Okay, yeah, if you don't mind emailing it, that way we can look back through it and discuss later.
Yes, I can do that. I've got a few more meetings, so it'll be this afternoon if that's okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It won't be today because we have stuff. Yeah, we have a party to get to. So
all right, I'll send it.
okay.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Bye.